go. That is what we needed. It's very much what we needed. It'll be averaging out the temperature in here, but it's going to be dropping. And gradually, this much cooler liquid will start moving. Now, this is probably, I'm guessing, because this is active again. Yeah. Okay, we've got this much time to set up our new area then. How about we... Well, you'll set that up first. We're going to want some more than 4 lower. Oh, yeah. That'll be 1 room. Oh man, those autosaves. Oof. Yeah, it is rather warm in here, but it is going to be getting cooler. Just need a bit of time. But that is going to suck if that goes down. I mean, I did make it out of lead, I suppose. Look, okay, I thought we were fine. I could remake it out of copper, I suppose. Yeah, may as well. Making it out of lead may or may not have been not the wisest thing for me to do. Ever so slightly not wise. Still 32 degrees there. Okay, it's kind of alternating by about 5 or so degrees over here. It will start to even out a little bit more. We are now seeing proper amounts of fuel being produced as well. Okay. And the steam in here is starting to work again. There we go. Let's push this up a little bit more. In fact, how hot is it in here? I kind of want this to wait until it's 190. Okay. Take care, Kana. Have a nice sleep. There we go. Right, in terms of the size of this room, I think it's probably wise for us to start laying... Right, the first things I need to see... the bridge. Can this overheat? No. That's about the only thing I need to worry about. The conveyor shut off. Cannot overheat. Perfect. And the conveyor rail thermal sensor cannot overheat. All I needed to know for certain. So with that... we're going to need to decide how big this room is going to be. So, warm regolith would enter from over here. Let's slow this down so it's not actually paused, but let's take our time with this. I'm going to use iron ore just for the ease. Warm regolith enters, goes around, along the floor, goes up, back around. Now, at this stage, I'm going to want a conveyor bridge to control the direction that this enters. But I also need to control when the hot regolith... Well, actually, you know what? I might use the top as the entry point. And the reason for that is just so... Well, no, because the regolith, when it exits, is going to be going straight up. So, yeah, that makes that... This, I think, makes a bit more sense. We use the conveyor bridge out of iron. That'll enter here, but I want the regolith that's inside to have priority. On this route. So, like that. So if there's regolith already in here, then it'll just keep going, and more won't get added beyond what this route can make use of. I'm going to need a bridge to control the direction, probably over here. If I cancel that, just to give it a direction of motion. There we are. Now, I am going to want a conveyor shut-off. Can I just use regular iron? I can. Again, it doesn't matter, but since I'm using iron, I may as well. And then I'd want a conveyor rail thermosensor. And once again, I'll make it out of iron. And that'll just exist there. Just because. Pop that across. If the regolith is cold enough, like if it's below a certain temperature, it gets popped out, it leaves. But I'm assuming that the conveyor rail thermosensor works like the same as the other one. I can choose above or below. I would hope that was the case. This ain't Dwarf Fortress with the new AI. I thought you were a gamer. I can't wait until I can get my hands on that. Really can't wait. Because it's come so long since the last time I did a proper Let's Play of it. So once we've got the cooler regolith, we exit out here and take it up to the shovels at the top. And probably, just on the off chance that we're dealing with cold regolith, well, I could allow it to just enter and go round once rather than have to pay for another system of power over there. That might be fine. Let me just double check that I've got enough room for these. If I were to just set this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the power generator. Just got enough room for them. I might want the room to be 1 bigger. That said, the only reason I would want it to be 1 bigger is just so the heavy joint plate could transition across. But it would be better to, because this room is going to be pressurized, it's better to enter from the side and out the side. That way heat isn't transferred between the rooms. Yeah, that makes sense. This does not matter what it's made of. This is the only thing in this entire build that's going to require power. So I could just have that power pop in there. Honestly, considering how little power it requires, I could just use a conductive wire. There's no particular reason not to. But that said, the reason would be that otherwise I would need to I'd need to set up a transformer over here, whereas if I use the heavy watt joint plate, I can just have that pop in there, pop out over here from the generators, and it would all work. That said, have I measured this correctly? Because I don't think I've left room enough for this. And I think I would need it. Well, actually, I can pop it above, so that wouldn't be a problem. So I think more or less that would be the way that we would hook all of that up. Shouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah. The interesting thing is, every single time, the problem here is if I'm running this with a power station, I'm going to have to come into this pressurized room. So I either need to make the entrance on this side, where it hasn't breached the asteroid, so the atmosphere doesn't bleed out, or just accept that I need to constantly be topping it up, because every time someone walks in the door, some of the atmosphere is going to bleed out. An interesting one, to be certain. Yeah, I'll leave it at priority 7. They can get to that when they can. What do you think, chat? How do you think we should approach this? Just accept that atmosphere is going to bleed out every time someone goes in there to tune the machines, and actually, you know, factor that into the cooling process, because I'll be then bringing in much colder hydrogen, for example, and so that would compensate for the occasional buildup of heat versus the amount of Weezwarts I've got. Or just allow it to be whatever atmosphere and don't actually care about topping it up with specifically hydrogen, and just run a like a branch off my CO2 and just not care about it. You just liquid lock again. I mean, I could do, actually. That's a good point. That's a very good point. I could just liquid lock it. Very well said. I hadn't even considered that on red. Hadn't even thought of that one. I can just build another liquid lock. Oh, that's getting a bit better. Very not hot down there, unfortunately. Still, the system's doing okay, I think. It's bringing in a little bit of extra power. That one still hasn't been broken down. We are starting to stockpile petroleum now, though, which is nice to see. How are things going down here? Okay, time for me to find out what this is over here. Down to 6. And we're gonna pop up the priority there. It's a cool steam vent. Oh, okay, never mind. I mean, that's not a bad thing, to be certain. It'll output steam at 110 degrees C. Certainly not a bad one. Not exactly what I wanted, though. But then if I could just pick what I got in terms of the vent, it wouldn't be particularly difficult. Wow. Need to get all this cleaned up, don't I? Let's sweep all of that out of the way. Same down here. Let's get all of this oil where it needs to be. Remember the occasional shovel egg that may enter the system. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually, Trevinix. I need to adjust that so it doesn't grab that. Yeah, let's get that done. Thunk. Sorted. Yeah, free water be free. It's a very good point. Very good point. I mean, what I could do is I could just use the Weezwarts as just like a extra layer of passive cooling on the system, and include a small aqua tuner just to run occasionally. I mean, I don't know. Seems like it wouldn't be necessary, but at the same time, is it going to be that bad? Especially since I'm going to be bringing power in anyway. I could do it. Just for the sake of having a tiny layer of cooling. What do you think, chat? Would you prefer me to build in a single small aqua tuner? And I'm going to be doing the Wheezeworts regardless. And just add the little aqua tuner in there just for the occasions where we might need a little bit of extra cooling. If I did that, then I would probably build a liquid lock, fill this area with hydrogen, and then call it a day with it having hydrogen in there. And the assumption would be that this atmosphere would never be disturbed after that. So occasionally it might need a little bit of additional cooling now and then. Alternatively, I can just go with the passive Wheezeworts and maybe allow some of the atmosphere to bleed out if there's an overheating issue, that sort of thing. Let me know. Oh, it's actually starting to fill those up quite well. Wow. That's despite having this as the priority. That would explain why petroleum is building up, though. Because that's no longer the priority. Likewise, though, if this room is never going to be over 100, I don't need these things made of steel. Why have I done this to myself? Said, am I gonna stop? No. Should I? Yes. Oh, take care, Haddock. You like the liquid lock design? Aquatuner is live. Oh, okay. So I might have started my own Oni game. Important question for chat. Algae farms or electrolysis for O2? Well, for my limited skill with the game, I would absolutely go with an algae farm. 100%. Yeah, cancel that one. Do we really need it to... No, we don't need to be steel. In fact, I should probably be sensible and pull that one down and replace it with something else. I've already built the steam engines, and maybe one day I will replace those too. But for now, we're going to stop being silly and actually use the things that we need. Oh, okay. So steel, we can't make it of other refined metals. Oh. That's unfortunate. So this would only have a 125 degree operating. Okay. Alright, that is definitely a reason in favor of steel then. Stop. Cancel. I've changed my mind yet again. So that being said, maybe I should just replicate what we've got down here. Just have two generators for the time being. We don't need more than that. I would like this area stripped, though, because then we can recover the steel that's in all of those machines. Gonna need to grab the coal from down there as well, pretty soon. But honestly, if we can get the new idea for this steam room setup, and we're probably not going to have any worries with temperature. Granite, sure, we'll have an internal cladding of granite at the top. Oh, wait. No, we are still going to be using these. There I was, about to throw the entire idea away. What a silly man. We want to get a little storage bin. We can just pop it down there. Start the pips. Planting everything we need over here. We're also going to need a critter drop off then. I have to wrangle a pip or two. This room can have granite cladding down the sides, I would imagine. Just extend this out and around. Like so. And the same on this side as well. Yeah, I think that would probably work. Which does unfortunately mean that we now need to dig down on this side too. So I'm making an awful lot of work suddenly for my my dupes, but it's important work, so let's get it done. Because I do want to go to sleep at some point, but I refuse to go to sleep until we have the power system set up. Honestly, the great thing about Oni is if you're willing to build the infrastructure for it, anything can be viable. Just build what you understand, leave some room for experimentation. If it's a good idea, you can scale it up. That's a fun way to play. Yeah, I like that. That's definitely a good way of looking at it. I've seen some amazing setups of terrarium oxygen production, just purely terrariums. And the normal progression seems to imply that you should be moving on from terrariums as soon as you can. But it was really interesting to see how they did it. And the efficiency, like, you know, some people crunched the numbers and found that actually, you know, there's quite a lot of efficiency to be gained by doing it. Which I found really, really interesting. How are we doing for food now? I mean, it would be great if we could use more of that meat, honestly. Really. There we go. That's fine. Okay. We made a big igneous rock. Wait. Why am I making that out of steel exactly? What? Game. Okay, that's all made of iron ore, at least. My lord. Now, how am I going to set up the liquid lock, though? Oof. That's a pain in the bum to think about. How am I going to set up the liquid lock? Because my liquid locks take quite a lot of room. Actually, you know what? I could change that up and have the regolith exit the building on this side, go up and around. That would give me a lot of room to play with setting up a liquid lock over here. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And it would also give me a little bit more time to, well... It would... Yeah, I should probably... Oh, damn it. Where would be the best side to set that up? Here's the question. I want the power to be over this side. What I could do is I could just decide, okay, if it's just below 200, bearing in mind it's probably only just below 200, so it can still contribute a little bit of heat as it's going on its way out. You know what? That's fine. I think that, you know, just bleed off that last little bit of energy before it exits. I could even have it lower than that, like if it's below 210 or something like that, to something to that effect, to help get it out. There we go. Got a little bit of extra room. Cladding, and then... Oh, actually, yeah, we're going to need a lot of extra room. I want cladding on that side, and then the insulated tile. Though, that being said, the insulated tile down here is going to be a bit different. This is the room that I need, though. That's the dimensions I need in this room. The door would be over here somewhere. Yeah, it should be fine. We should be able to manage this without issue. A panhandle liquid lock. Now, what is a panhandle liquid lock? Are you stuck? You are stuck, aren't you? Yes. Yes, you are. There you go. You dip. To be expected, but you dip. How's this room doing? Not too well, actually. What are we waiting on to make this? Oh, it's just a work errand. Alright. Well, hopefully you can get in there soon. And take care of that. I'll just get that last little bit of cold out from down there. The volcano down here, I've not played around with making use with siphoning the heat energy out of a volcano. I would like to, but there's definitely something for when we are not consistently in an energy crisis. There's a definite not when we're in an energy crisis moment, I think. And let's make that a higher priority so I can actually exchange that sooner rather than later. Because again, I would like this place to be set up and actually operational as soon as we can. Now, the thing with the steam turbines, I believe, their overheat temperature is 1,000 degrees. You don't need to make them out of steel. What on earth am I doing? I need to read more. More reading. My goodness. I can just go ahead and set these up. Actually, thinking about it, I should probably set them up in the other direction so that the necessary building is closer. And likewise, it's meant for a crazy hot room, so I don't need to faff around with it. Okay, that'll do. Alright, I would very much like seeds, weezeworts. Crazy high priority, please. There you go. Right, next step. Well, I'm going to lay off setting this up just yet. I don't want to sweep the whole thing yet. The pips will plant what I want, as long as there are no other seeds in here. I don't think there are. I'll take the Wethleys. I was imagining just a little hallway near the top of the room that houses your entrance lock, but it wouldn't extend to full length downwards, thus making your room look like a frying pan in shape. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. A pan handle liquid lock, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Mr. Cupholder. I mean, looking at the turbines, I'm not sure why I would make them out of steel, because let's have a look. Useful for converting the geothermal energy, blah blah blah. What's different in this? Resource of... Yeah, this looks better. That's the only difference. It'll add 200 degrees Celsius to the overheat temperature, but the overheat temperature is already 1,000 degrees. Unless I'm missing something. If I am, please don't worry about letting me know. The backseat gaming tag is on purpose. Right, once that's done, we'll build the cladding down on this side. This will need to extend out a little bit. I've had turbines melt before with putting very hot steam through them. That's sort of... You would need... Well... How hot would you need it to melt copper? You'd need to be putting 1,000 degree steam through a copper... steam turbine to melt it. Interesting. Lava-powered steam generator. Okay, yeah, that might affect it. Though I thought the steam turbine basically oh, is it a roof on the power that you get rather than an operational limit? Because I'm aware that there is a limit of 200 degrees. At 200 degrees, I assume the turbine stopped working, but it might simply be a case that the turbine doesn't work any better beyond 200 degrees. In which case, that would make a bit more sense. That would make a lot of sense, actually.